Hello and good afternoon. For those of you that have been sticking around all day, you might have heard me mention that we're going to have a door prize if you stick around for the afternoon. So we're ready for that door prize. So I invite everybody who's having great conversations. I'm so sorry to interrupt them. But if you come back to the seating area, we're going to give away one of those door prizes now. Hey, Aaron. We can do it after. Okay, great. So here's what we're going to do. If you can hear me, clap once. And if you can hear me, clap 2 times. And if you can hear me, just clap. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sticking around for the afternoon. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. We're so glad that you joined us. It's been a really great day of some terrific content. And we're so fortunate that we also have an audience online that's joining us. So those of you who are joining us on the live stream right now, thank you. We're so glad that you're with us. We mentioned earlier that we're going to have a door prize for those of you who stuck around, and a lot of you did. This is exciting. And when I look around, what a powerhouse of people that I see. So many people I want to have further conversations with, and I'm glad that you're here. And I'm just going to see if I have the winning. I asked the person at the door just to send me. Choose from the name of people who've registered a random name, but I don't have that. So instead, what we're going to do is I'm going to whisper to my good friend Kata from Avenue Magazine a number, and then I'm going to ask people to shout out a number, and whoever gets closest to this number is going to win this door prize. So Kata. It's okay. Just the closest number, and let's do it like an auction. Here we go. Who's got the number? Let's 67. Isn't that like the new word of 2025? Yeah, I should have factored that. Who said 67? Of course you did, Cynthia. Okay, so the number was 8. Okay, and so Cynthia, you get a copy of my book. This is How We Gather Matters, Sustainable Event Planning for Purpose and Impact. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now that I've got everybody's attention, let me welcome you officially. My name is Leor Rotchild. For those that don't know me, I'm the president of a company called Kavana Partners. And I'm so thrilled to be here and to be welcoming you in the Energy Transition Center in this beautiful building called the Ampersand in the heart of Mohkinstsis. That's the Blackfoot name for the place that we commonly know as Calgary, Alberta. It's the traditional territory of the Treaty 7. It's the Treaty 7 region, which is home to the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina, Stoney Nakoda First Nations, and the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. And I wanted to also just acknowledge that what a really interesting week we're having this conversation. We're the warm-up act for the Prime Minister who's on his way to Calgary, and so what an exciting time to be here. And I've been personally waiting for this moment for a long time to be able to talk to you about this exciting new initiative that we're launching today. And for decades, climate leadership has been shaped and defined in places that have often been inaccessible to us, completely out of reach. For example, many of us have been watching the negotiations taking place in Belém, Brazil, with varying levels of interest, disappointment, optimism. But so often these kind of discussions are out of reach for most of us. I've personally never been to a blue zone or a green zone or the rainbow zone. I don't know what the zones are. I've never participated in that process. I do know that New York Climate Week is something that a number of people have been attending over the last several years and have seen as an opportunity to bring some of that sort of high-level conversation that might be perhaps a little too political, too abstract, too out of touch with our daily lives into something that's a bit more action-oriented. And then this year, it seems like a lot of people in my network, at least, and tell me if this is resonating for you, a lot of people have said, I don't know that I want to go to New York right now to have these conversations. First of all, I don't want to deal with travel in the US right now. And secondly, really, is that where we should be looking to leadership? Is that really where the leadership is going to come from? Well, I believe that we have an opportunity that's been opened up, a real rare opening for Canada to step up and step into the leadership void. And I think that it's a really interesting time for Calgary right now to contribute to this more resilient, this strong vision of Canada, this leadership role that we could be taking that is less dependent on the United States generally. And furthermore, we have an opportunity right here in Calgary to highlight our homegrown solutions, to highlight our climate tech innovators, to highlight our companies, our community builders. And all that from a city and a province that's typically seen as a dinosaur in the climate leadership conversations. We can surprise the world. Because here's the truth. I believe that the next wave of climate leadership and thought leadership and solutions are not going to come from the usual spaces. They're more likely to come from the regions that understand energy, the regions that understand agriculture, regions like this one, like Alberta, like Calgary, the blue sky city where anything's possible, Mohkinstsis, where Indigenous leadership and knowledge has guided how sustainable land and water management has been done for millennia here, where community organizers are leading the way when it comes to climate adaptation and resilience and infrastructure building that's helping us to weather an unpredictable future. And where innovators are finding a home in a burgeoning ecosystem that is supportive and punching way above its weight. And we can bring the global investors and the global partners right here to Calgary to do something really special that contributes to the vision of Canada that we all share. So on that note, it's my esteemed honor, and I'm going to cue up the next slide here. And can I ask for a drum roll, please? Because it's my pleasure to introduce to you Calgary Climate Week. Calgary Climate Week will be having its inaugural event series kicking off in June of 2026. So the first week of June is when this exciting new event series is taking place. And I need you all to be part of it. This is our opportunity to create a citywide collaboration like Calgary knows how to do. Calgary does this when it comes together for the Calgary Stampede and for community events all year long. We want this to be at that same level of stature and excitement that we feel throughout our time in this blue sky city. It's an opportunity to inspire imagination, to accelerate solutions that both exist here, and to invite conversations, partners, and investors from all over the world to help us lean into our full potential, the potential we're not currently reaching yet. And best of all, I think that there's an opportunity to do this with a very clear set of objectives in mind. If I could just ask you to go to the next slide there. I realize why the slides aren't going as fast, because I have them right here. So thank you for that. But the way that we're going to do this is that we're going to shine a light on Canadian and Calgary-based climate solutions. We're going to inspire local action. Excuse me, my slides are a little bit off here. But the way that this format works is that we are going to kick this off with a multi-day climate symposium with exciting international speakers and a highlight of all the great innovations that are taking place and solutions that are taking place already in our city. And we're going to end the week with an exciting net zero rodeo. So celebrating what we do in Calgary really well, giving people an up-close, more intimate experience of being part of a rodeo experience that's completely off-grid, powered by batteries and renewable energy. And in the middle, we're going to have a number of show and tell tours that take people to carbon capture facilities and all kinds of sites and venues where they could be seeing transition, innovation, climate solutions in action. And then there's room for a lot of the partners that we're working with to fill it with a lot of their wonderful community events, celebrations, cocktail events, and all kinds of other programs that are going to enhance the week for everybody. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the slides. If you could take over there, that would be great. Okay, so I think we're back on track. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to focus on the way that we're going to do this is, or the way that we're going to conduct ourselves is through a series of guiding principles that really enable us to make sure that we're not anti-anything. We're pro-prosperity. We're pro-exciting opportunities and exciting experiences and connecting people and creating an ecosystem around solutions through development of partnerships in the not-for-profit, public sector, and business sector. We're going to create meaningful experiences for people so that this stuff is fun, it's accessible. People who've never been to an environmental themed conference come to Climate Week and say, wow, I didn't know there was so much here for me. And we're going to do it through optimism, not doom and gloom, not a whole bunch of technical data about how we're completely off track. It's going to be, here are the opportunities, here's why it's exciting, here's how you can be involved, and here's a lot of time for networking and meaningful connections. That's what Climate Week is going to look like. That's what I'm inviting you into. And I want to make sure that this next slide is working, because I'm going to fly through some of this now here to get to what I really want to do is acknowledge the founding partners that have been part of this process so far. And we couldn't do this without them. We wouldn't be here without these organizations. I moved a little too fast. Thank you for bearing with me. we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fact that these outstanding organizations have really stepped up and said, this is exciting, we want to be part of this, we're going to invest resources into this. And so I'm so fortunate that a number of these organizations that you see represented by these logos are in the room. We've got our friends from AECOM here, Alberta Eco Trust, Avenue Magazine, thank you for being here. Business Wide View, BJ, you can't miss him, he's the one in the cowboy hat, and we're collaborating on that net zero rodeo that I mentioned. Calgary Climate Hub, Calgary Economic Development, the City of Calgary, Energy Futures Lab, you would have heard from today, Evoke Innovation that led the session just before this one. Green Economy Calgary, thanks for being here, Ryan. Green Tech Alliance, Charlie's here. Neil Z Photography, Neil's been our photographer extraordinaire all day and is our official photographer for Calgary Climate Week. The Pembina Institute, of course, Spark Event Collective, who is our main partner in delivering this excellent project. And thank you to the folks at TMX, the TMX group. I want to invite 4 of these partners. Unfortunately, we can't, hear from them all at this moment, but I've invited 4 of them to come and speak to us here. And so the first of those 4 is Jennifer McCarr. She is the team lead of the citizenship program in the Climate and Environment Group at the City of Calgary. Thank you, Jennifer. If I can invite you to come and tell us, why is the city making an investment into Calgary Climate Week?
Thanks, Leor. I just want to especially thank you for such a warm welcome. I don't think I've met many of you, but I already feel like we have so much in common. And so, yes, as you mentioned, I'm the team lead of citizen programs with the City of Calgary Climate and Environment. And the City of Calgary is indeed proud to be a founding partner for Calgary Climate Week because it is a fantastic opportunity to convene community and to make space for meaningful engagement on climate change. And it's also a fantastic opportunity to support the Calgary Climate Strategy, which has actionable plans to reduce emissions and also climate risk. And part of that Calgary Climate Strategy, which is also known as Pathways to 2050, has a commitment to environmental education, climate education, and outreach initiatives. And part of that is to provide platforms for conversation and to pursue partnerships so that we can meet each other, connect, and make space for all Calgarians to make decisions to be climate resilient at home, at work, and in our communities. And so this is such a tremendous opportunity, and so too is what's to come, because building community is essential. We can together increase our impact by meeting each other, networking with each other, sharing information and innovative ideas to increase our impact and to create a sustainable and resilient future for all. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to come up and speak to me. Otherwise, you can also find more information at calgary.ca, where you can find the climate strategy and a whole host of other information. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Especially appreciate you being here on such a busy week for the city. It's budget week at City Hall, and so certainly I'm sure been a challenge to juggle your time to be here. So thank you so much, Jennifer. Next up, I'd love to invite Megan Zimmerman. She's the VP of Trade and Investor Experience at Calgary Economic Development.
Thank you. I know maybe half the room. It's nice to be amongst friends. Leor and I go way back, and maybe most notably the original class of the Energy Futures Lab. So it feels like we're coming back together. So that's exciting. So if you're in the class today and you don't know me, it's because I was like OG, like 2015. So it goes way back. Like Leor said, I'm here on behalf of Calgary Economic Development, and we are certainly proud to partner along with the city with the inaugural Calgary Climate Week. This aligns really, really well to our mandate. So what we do at Calgary Economic Development is position Calgary for long-term economic success and diversification. And the way that we do that is through the attraction, expansion, and retention of companies, capital, and talent. And our plan is to use Calgary Climate Week really as a focal point to leverage that story. So we are intending to really amplify the stories of many of you in this room, Calgary's energy tech ecosystem, and really positions the city as a hub for solving some of the world's biggest problems in energy, the environment, and technology. And like Leor said, you'll hear a lot about the Blue Sky City because that is the brand of Calgary. Calgary is the perfect place. Of course, this is my job, but I can't think of a better place in the world to launch this and certainly to really kind of put a stake in the ground in Canada. We want to continue driving environmental leadership, building world-class talent, unexpected cross-industry collaborations that we see every day, and of course, bold advancements in applied research technology. So I wanted to put a personal thanks to Leor. This really is your brainchild, for your leadership, for convening all of your friends and colleagues and maybe others that you haven't met yet that we're going to bring into the circle. We look forward to collaborating with all of you, with all of our partners, and really advancing meaningful conversations in support of Calgary's place as a center for all things energy. So thank you very much.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, after all these wonderful people saying all these kind words, it's kind of like, all right, sign me up, right? But we're not done. We're only halfway through the number of wonderful people that I want to introduce you to. And in particular, the next person I want to invite is MJ Krunen. She's the VP and practice lead of Energy Advisory, ESG, and Decarbonization at AECOM. And AECOM is our newest and first private sector partner in this founding cohort of organizations helping us to launch Calgary Climate Week for you today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Leor. So yes, we're the first private company to join. AECOM is a global company. We're here in Calgary, but we've been supporting Climate Week globally as well as in the US and in Canada. My colleague Elizabeth was on one of our presentations this morning as well. And we truly believe that the communities where we live, we can have a tremendous impact. So the way that we design, build our projects is really with a sustainable perspective. We want to make sure they're environmentally sound. We want to make sure that they have social positive impact, and of course that they generate prosperity. Further overlaying that all is resilience. You know, our infrastructure has to be resilient going forward. So this gives us a great opportunity, and we hope we set a trend where other private companies are going to join us in supporting the Calgary Climate Week. And we want to make sure that, we continue to have a very positive impact on this beautiful community that we live in. I live just outside of our community, but I've lived in Calgary for almost close to 30 years. And doing this with optimism, intelligence, connecting with everybody who has so much to bring in this community is really what we want to do. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Last but not least, I want to invite my good friend Rod Ruff. He is the CEO and president of Alberta EcoTrust. Thank you, Rod.
Thanks, Leor. And this is exciting. I'm glad you finally got to share your vision publicly, and I feel very privileged to have been able to see it percolating for a long time, and this is such a milestone, so I'm really happy to be here. My name is Rod Ruff. I am the CEO at Alberta EcoTrust Foundation. We are an organization that has been investing in environmental and climate solutions for coming up on 35 years now in the province. In our core, we are a collaborative organization. We work with industry, government, nonprofits, and our Indigenous partners because we believe that's how real change happens, and that's the best way to move forward on complex environmental and societal issues. And we share Leor's optimism for practical solutions that help both people and nature thrive right here in Alberta. And so we're very proud to be a founding partner of Calgary Climate Week because we believe this moment calls for two things at once: being pragmatic about what we can get done and what we are doing, and then staying committed to that long game. And for a long time, we've been investing locally in the ideas, technologies, businesses and partners that make Calgary such a great place to live. Through things that we do, like our Climate Innovation Fund, or our Retrofit Accelerator, or Building Information Exchange, or the many funding programs we run, we see every day that meaningful change happens when different sectors don't act alone. It happens at the intersection, as you can see here, where businesses, government, and community leaders roll up their sleeves together. So a community-wide collaboration sounds pretty good to me. It looks like Calgary Climate Week can really help widen that intersection. It's a chance to highlight what's already working well here, learn from each other, hopefully inspire each other, feel a sense of joy for this collective purpose we've been called to, and build momentum around the possible. So thank you, Leor. I am so grateful for your leadership and vision in making this happen. I look forward to working with everyone here to help they shape that positive future for Calgary. Thanks.
Thank you for those kind words and for being part of this journey all the way through here. So now we want to do two things. We want to invite you to do a couple of things. One is to be part of this initiative that we've now created a platform for. It will be as exciting as we all make it. It will be as impactful as we make it. And it will engage as many Calgarians as we can amplify and make that a reality. So I invite you to see yourself part of this. If that's not clear to you right now, let's explore it together, because there's lots of opportunities to be involved in this initiative. And I need your help to build this, not just in telling me, hey, this is maybe what, something we could host or something we could support, or here's some money that we want to give you. That would be fine too. But also, we want your feedback. And we want you to literally help us build this initiative from the ground up. We're not coming to you with a fully baked, here's exactly what it's going to look like. I'm going to send you this run a show. Just check the email. It's ready to go. No, this is an opportunity for you to help us design this thing in a way that's going to truly be impactful and meaningful. And so what we want to do is invite the partner organizations, the partner individuals who are already in this initiative. Can you put up your hands? There's a number of these folks in the room. If you could act as facilitators for group conversations, and I'd like these group conversations to be, let's say, 4 to 5 people at the most, and if it's 3, that's okay too. But get into small groups and help us to answer these questions. And for those of you who would have seen these on the chairs, this is essentially, these are the questions here. It's really asking you, what are the innovations that we should be focused on or be featuring? What are the themes and programmatic areas that we should be prioritizing, and the partners that we should be making sure that we're engaging? Are there some really great speakers that you think we should be focusing on, both who are local and ones that we could be bringing to Calgary to really inspire people to meet their full potential? And then what are the things that you can bring to the table that you can contribute to Calgary Climate Week? These are the questions that I'd like you to answer in your small groups. And facilitators, please help me to capture that information so that we could share a little bit about it. And we'll do that for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll give you a couple minutes heads up when we're nearing the end of that. Thank you. I hate to break up these amazing conversations that are being had. I was a fly on the wall in a few of them, and it sounded like there were some really terrific ideas. And I have to admit, I can't wait to like dive in and learn from you. Can I just get maybe, because we don't have time to hear from everybody, is there somebody who's got like a couple of like really burning things that they want to share with the larger group? Perhaps one of the facilitators, did you like come up with something where you're like, go ahead, Anne.
So we have the rancher in our group, so it automatically was like a good conversation point. But I think one of the big points was, oh, thanks, Leor, around just the collaboration between industries that you not normally would talk to, and the ability to build an event like this and bring together industries that don't, we talked about how these two probably don't come across each other day to day, but they have lots of opportunities for collaboration. And those are the types of conversations we want to build at the Climate Week's events. So that was very cool. And I think like I said, an unfair advantage because I think I have the only rancher, but there's lots of industries where we can learn from each other and not have to reinvent the wheel. So I think that was a good reinforcement for us.
And one more, perhaps? Good. Thank you, Lindy.
Yeah, we're doing that. Sure. Yeah, you want to do it? You can do it. Okay. So we talked about in terms of innovations that we should consider. Is that that's the part you want to? Okay. So we talked about lithium extraction from brines, but home retrofits, water, big umbrella, political will, and electrification. So,
yeah,
we've built your 3 pillars. If you'd like to just let us know.
I like that as important pillars and framing. So, some what I sort of hear in both groups, some of the commonality here is that we have an opportunity to take some deep specialties, but it broaden them to make sure that we're inviting more people into these conversations around some of these pillars that you talk about, and then picking up on your theme, making sure they're representative of diversity across genders, across age groups, across sectors, across the public, private, not-for-profit sectors. So there's lots of opportunities to bring people together who are still not talking to each other. And even in a city like Calgary, where we like to joke that everybody knows each other, there's a lot of people not having conversations, especially through the lens of climate change and climate solutions. So thank you very much. We're going to wrap things up very soon, but before we do, I want to invite my colleague who you just heard from. This is Anne Nguyen. She is the president and co-founder of Spark Event Collective, and Anne and Spark are the major delivery projects, the true partner and co-conspirator that's been around from the beginning of the conception of this idea. So, and maybe you also can share why Spark is so heavily involved in this event, and how you also want to see some of the other groups communicating with you as we explore partnerships with folks.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Leroy. Nice to meet all of you. I had some great conversations with my group, and the one thing I think we all have in common in this room is everyone said, I know Leor from XYZ. So I'm an old friend of Leor's from XYZ. So I fall into that bucket as well. I've come across Leor. He's presented at events that we've planned. He's organized his own events. He's been an attendee. So when he approached us with this idea, we get hired a lot to plan all sorts of different types of events in the city, but we don't often sort of put, I'll say, our skin in the game when it comes to a project unless it really speaks to our core values. And so collaboration, building community, having conversations in the age where, you can't trust anything you read and you can't trust anything you see on the internet. We really believe in sitting in a room, looking each other in the eye, talking about the real problems that our city and our world faces, and coming up with solutions. So at Spark, we believe that events are going to be a crux to that. for the next number of years here, and we hope to build Calgary Climate Week with Leor into something really powerful for the city. It does give me a little bit of angst, 7 months out from June, that Leor is still saying we haven't baked out everything and we don't have everything firm. The event planner in me is a little bit anxious about that, but I think that's how we thrive. So we are still in the ideation phase. If you have ideas, if you have topics, if you want to host an event that's part of Calgary Climate Week, please come and talk to us. It's not going to be a week of just Leor's events and our events. We want other people to come out and put their skin in the game, host events, host conversations, host your communities as well. So please do come speak to us. We'll be here. We just launched this website that is on the postcard. We just launched our Instagram account, so lots of ways to get in touch with us. And we're really looking forward to it. June will be here before you know it, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you out there.
Thanks so much, Anne. Before we move into last thank yous and wrapping up, I want to just open the floor for a moment. Is there anything that you've heard about the launch of Calgary Climate Week that is still kind of like a mystery to you, or any burning questions that you have that either perhaps came up in your group conversations that I can answer, or Anne can answer, or one of our other partners can answer for you? Wendy, yes.
So much potential, and I'm just very excited for you and happy that Anne is working on the project. So, question I have, of course, I come from a PR angle and stakeholder relations work. Is it your focus, thank you, is it your focus to have sort of build groundswell, build capacity so that Calgary in the end is left with legacy betterness? Or is how much of your agenda is to let the outside world know what's going on in Calgary, so an international story? So, you might say both, but I would love to know if kind of agenda 1 is build capacity 2, agenda 2 is external, international, relations, or I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, it is a bit of both, but agenda 1 absolutely is strengthen the ecosystem and amplify the work that's happening locally. That is paramount, and I think that there are so many amazing stories happening in our community. Charlie, I think Charlie and I communicate frequently. He's launching this new Green Tech Alliance. Is a global initiative. He's based in Calgary. Did you know that we have this happening in Calgary? Did you know that and there's so many things like that we're like, it would be sort of exhausting to just sit and create a list of all the amazing things happening that we think are untold stories. And so we want to illuminate those things. I know we've got a really terrific and emerging innovation and technology sector ecosystem happening here in Calgary, and oftentimes I know the climate tech components of that ecosystem are perhaps a bit sort of off to the side when some of the other technologies are getting front and center. We want to bring those front and center. We want them to be heroes of this story. At the same time, we also have a belief that Calgary could be doing so much more. And so we do want to have the international exposure, the partners, the investors who are saying, if you can solve this, we're ready to work with you. If you can solve this, the world really needs this from you. And if you can solve this, hey, we're willing to bring some money to the table. And so we hope that will help Calgary to be very proud of what it's already doing and see opportunity in what it could be doing a lot more of. Yes, you have a question.
I just wondered, given what's... thank you.
And Fred, maybe just introduce yourself quickly.
It's on. Is it on?
No, it's not.
Green light. There we go. Got Night. My name's Frederick Kozak. I run a company called Environmental Minerals. We recycle mining tailing waste in South America for critical minerals. What I was thinking about, and this comes from the analyst side in me, I used to be an equities analyst way back when, there's so much going on in Calgary. Even today I learned so much about all the different companies who are doing amazing, amazing things. Have you guys thought about the idea, or do you have a location where this is going to be held, of even having something like a trade fair where the public could come in and walk around and see how many amazing things Calgarians are doing, and just, you know, how far advanced the industry and the clean tech space is in Calgary?
Yeah, great question, Fred. And I would say the short answer is yes, kind of. I think trade shows are kind of like, it's their own thing, but we want to bring in elements of that and make sure that there's activations and different organizations and technologies that people can interact with, learn about, and through the show and tell tours to actually like go out and see these things in the field or in the lab or in the industrial facility where they're being utilized. So definitely, that is an important part of this, and we'd love your ideas on this. We'd love your involvement in this, and so stick with us so we can build it together. Okay. I'll take one more question.
Quick
Yes.
question. Do you see that maybe this might be an opportunity to be like the gatekeepers of this event's coming up, that event's coming up? I know there's a lot of overlap, or you know, you got to be in two places at once at a time here. You know, rodeo. Do you see any opportunity to be like the gatekeeper of this is the newest, I don't know, event that's going on? Like, what, you know, over the next 6 months or whatever?
So I would say we definitely don't want to be a gatekeeper. Okay. So we won't use that language. I don't think you'll see that language appearing in any of our stuff. But what we do want to do is create a platform that others see as so compelling and exciting that they want to be part of it. And so, like, for example, I was having a conversation with Energy Efficiency Alberta. They're hosting their annual event. They were like, we're not aligned, but let's try and align next year. So I think that this today has been an important milestone of saying, hey, this is what we're doing. We're putting ourselves out there. We chose the first week of June, and 100 people have an idea of like a better date. We learned that there's no good date, so you got to just choose something and run with it. And what we hope is that if not this year, over the next couple of years, that people will align some of their annual activities with Calgary Climate Week. At the same time, I mean, it's interesting that, you know, Anne and Spark are like deep partners on this initiative, because in some ways we are coming at this from an event strategist point of view. If you were here for the book giveaway, you'll know I wrote a book about how we can leverage events as a powerful platform to affect change in our community. And that's essentially what we're trying to design here, is an opportunity to really maximize the impact of what can be done and make it a meaningful experience for everybody involved. So some of what you're saying absolutely is the case. We want to leverage events as a way to consolidate efforts, to bring as many people into the tent as possible to make this really meaningful and impactful. But we also know that people will do things throughout the year. We're here right now at an event that was organized by the TMX group and the Canada Climate Week Exchange Initiative that we're really excited to be part of and supportive of, and we don't necessarily need to no, it all needs to be happening in this one particular time of the year. We think there's lots of opportunities to collaborate even outside of the week that we've selected. Hopefully that answers most of your question. I want to wrap up here because we're going to have a really exciting opportunity to do a market close. But just before we do that, I'd like to make sure that I thank the TMX group who I just mentioned. Thank you for organizing today. Thank you for inviting us to be part of it. Those of you who were speakers, the founding partners that came up and were speakers, thank you for being here and participating in the meaningful way you did. Thank you to the facilitators for leading these discussions here. Thank you to the Energy Futures Lab, Evoke Innovations. Thank you to Good Company, who just launched our website literally minutes before we started this session. Whew, just in time. Thank you so much to CRIN, the Clean Resources Innovation Network. They were just so awesome in managing the live stream and managing so much of the back end. When you guys were all in groups, they even polled the live stream audience and gathered some feedback from them. Thank you so much for all of your support today. Thank you to Neil Zeller, who's been capturing all the photography today. And thank you so much to Stavrula, who's been doing all the work behind the scenes. She's busy doing more stuff behind the scenes right now. She's with Spark Event Collective as well. She's the one who organized all the food. We're about to have some mimosas, and so we invite you to stay for that.